This is the numerical from the textbook. What is the molar mass of a solute? If a solution prepared by dissolving 0.822 gram of it in 300 dm³ of the water, it has an osmotic pressure of how much? 149 mm mercury at 298 Kelvin. So whenever you read the numerical, here what is given? Here the weight of solute is given, molar gas constant R, the value of R is known to you, temperature is given 298 Kelvin, osmotic pressure 149 mm mercury. Okay, so here convert this osmotic pressure into the atmosphere by using relation 1 atmosphere is equal to 760 mm mercury. So that becomes 0.196 atmosphere. Now here volume, it is a 300 ml. So please correct that. This is the 300 milliliter. So here it becomes 0.3 liter, that is dm³. So put this M2 equal to this formula, that is W2RT upon 5 that you have studied in the previous video. So W2 0.822 gram, 0.08205, this is the value of molar gas constant. The temperature is 298 Kelvin. Divided by osmotic pressure, it is in atmosphere 0.196 into 0.3 dm³. So after calculation, here you can calculate with the help of the logarithmic table, a simple calculations. So molar mass of non-volatile solute, it becomes 342 gram per mole. Followed? Okay. Now you can solve the numerical which is given in the exercise in your textbook. Now let us see the next new point, that is the colligative properties of electrolytes. Now you are familiar with the word colligative properties. Now what is an electrolyte? What is the definition? Electrolyte, it is a substance which dissociates into the ions, and these ions are responsible for conduction of electricity. So the substances which dissociate to give rise the ions and which conducts the electricity, that is the substance known as an electrolyte. Followed? Now the solutions of electrolytes, they also exhibit the colligative properties that we have studied. But the relations for non-electrolyte that we derive these relations, here these relations are not same for the relations of the electrolytes. For solution of electrolytes, the colligative properties, they are greater than the expected for the solutions of non-electrolyte of the same concentration. Now it is clear, as it is an electrolyte, it breaks into the ions. Now colligative properties depends on the number of particles in the solution. So whenever the solution of electrolyte is considered, definitely the colligative properties for the solution of electrolytes, they are higher or greater than the expected colligative properties for the solution of non-electrolyte of the same concentration. Molar masses of electrolytes in the aqueous solution, here just we solved one example for the calculation of molar mass of non-volatile solute. Now the molar masses in case of electrolytes in the aqueous solution, that is determined by the colligative properties. These molar masses, they are found to be lower than the formula masses. Now why they are found to be lower than the formula masses? Lower than formula, the relation between molar mass and number of particles, it is an inverse relation. Greater the number of particle, lower is the molar mass. Okay. So electrolyte dissociate into two or more than two ions when they are dissolved in a water. But in case of non-electrolyte, no dissociation, no increase in number of particles. But in case of electrolyte, as they dissociate, the number of particles increases. And therefore, the colligative properties for the solutions of electrolyte, they are higher than the colligative properties for non-electrolyte solution. Followed? Now, next point, that is the Van 't Hoff factor, I. Now, this is the name of the scientist. Van 't Hoff, name of the scientist, who stated this factor I in this way. Now, Van 't Hoff factor I, it is the ratio of colligative property of solution of electrolyte to the colligative property of non-electrolyte solution having same concentration. So this ratio, it is known as a Van 't Hoff factor. Now just I told that the colligative property in case of electrolyte is always higher than colligative property in case of non-electrolyte with same concentration, because electrolyte dissociate to give the two or more ions, and therefore number of particles in the solution increases, hence colligative property becomes greater. Now this Van 't Hoff factor I in terms of colligative property. Now in the previous videos, you have learned the colligative properties: depression in freezing point, elevation in boiling point, lowering of vapor pressure, osmotic pressure. So here Van 't Hoff factor I for these colligative properties can be represented in this manner. This is the ratio of delta TF upon delta TF0, means the depression in freezing point for electrolyte, and this denominator depression in freezing point for non-electrolyte with same concentration. The same is the meaning for the elevation in boiling point, lowering of vapor pressure and osmotic pressure. Now in alternative manner, what is Van 't Hoff factor I? See here, Van 't Hoff factor I, it is equal to actual moles of particles in the solution after the dissociation, because it is an electrolyte. So actual or observed number of moles of the particles in the solution after dissociation divided by the number of moles of formula units dissolved in the solution. Here in terms of molar mass, exactly reverse. Try to understand here. Here the molar mass and number of particles, they are inversely proportional to each other. Now in the numerator, actual moles of particles in the solution after dissociation. So that will be inversely proportional to its molar mass, that is observed molar mass. Same is the case for the mole of formula unit dissolved in the solution, that is for the denominator. And therefore, in terms of molar mass, this ratio becomes reverse, that is Van 't Hoff factor I becomes equal to here formula mass of substance divided by actual or observed molar mass of the substance. Followed? That is Van 't Hoff factor I in terms of molar mass, it becomes theoretical molar mass divided by actual or observed molar mass. Now for non-electrolyte, no dissociation, therefore Van 't Hoff factor I, it is equal to 1. But for electrolyte, depending upon the nature of electrolyte, whether it produces 2 particles, 3 particles, 4 particles, the Van 't Hoff factor I is 2. For example, NaCl, it gives the Na plus and Cl minus, 2 particles. Here KNO3 also, K plus NO3 minus. If we consider the calcium chloride, Ca plus 2, 2 chloride ions, therefore total 3 particles. In case of Na2SO4, twice Na plus SO4 minus 2, total 3 particles. the colligative properties of electrolytes. Therefore, as they depend on the number of particles, they become twice and thrice respectively as those of non-electrolytes with same concentration. One reason is given. At very high concentration, the colligative properties of strong electrolytes. Now, what are strong electrolytes? Just we define the electrolyte. Strong electrolyte means the electrolytes which gives the large number of ions after dissociation. That is strong electrolytes. Almost complete dissociation is there, strong electrolyte. So it gives the large number of ions in the solution. So here at very high concentration, what is the observation? For strong electrolyte, the colligative property and their Van't-Hoff factor I values, they are generally smaller than expected value. And why they are smaller? See here, at very high concentration, what happens? The electrostatic forces between oppositely charged ions bring about the formation of ion pairs. That is, there is a formation of ion pairs due to the attractive force between the charged ions. And each ion pair consists of one or more cation and one or more anions, that is negative ions. And all these are held together by electrostatic attractive forces. As a result, here due to the formation of ion pairs, actual number of particles in the solution becomes less or it decreases. And this decreases the expected Van't-Hoff factor value, that is I, as well as expected value for colligative property. Followed this reason, why the strong electrolyte at very high concentration shows the less colligative property value and Van't-Hoff factor value as compared to expected value. Okay. Next, modification of expression of colligative properties. Now, if you remember, please recall these relations. For first colligative property, here the relative lowering of vapor pressure delta P upon P1 naught, it is equal to mole fraction of solute, that is X2. So, except I, this relation you have studied in the first colligative property. And this finally equal to W2M1 upon W1M2. So there is a modification. Here, the expression for colligative properties for non-electrolytes, they are modified. Simply modification is, that is insertion of Van't-Hoff factor I. I is there. Okay. Here delta TB is equal to KB into M. That you are familiar with this relation. But here it is modified for the electrolyte, that is here Van't-Hoff factor I is inserted in terms of molar mass of non-volatile solute. Here also I into 1000 into Kb into W2 upon W1M2. Similarly, for remaining two colligative properties, that is depression in freezing point and osmotic pressure. Okay, so while solving the numericals, you have to use the different relations depending upon the type of numeric. Okay. Now, before discussing this Van't-Hoff factor I and degree of dissociation, this relation, let us see one MCQ which is based on Van't-Hoff factor I.
To gain more confidence. Question. Solution having osmotic pressure nearer to that equimolar solution of K4FeCN6 IIT-JEE 2008. Option A, Na2SO4. Option B, BaCl2. Option C, Al2SO4 whole thrice. Option D, C12H22O11.
Now this is the multiple choice question which was asked in IIT JEE 2008. So can you guess which is the answer? Read the question first. Solution having osmotic pressure nearer to that equimolar solution of K4 FeCN6, that is potassium ferrocyanide. Now the options given, they are sodium sulfate, barium chloride, aluminium sulfate and C12H22O11, that is sugar, cane sugar. So on which point or base you can give the correct answer here. Now solution with osmotic pressure nearer to that equimolar solution of this salt, that is potassium ferrocyanide. So osmotic pressure is a colligative property. It depends on the number of particles present in the solution. So for K4 FeCN6, how many number of particles in the solution? Here K4 FeCN6, it gives the 4K plus FeCN6 minus 4. So total there are 5 particles. So you have to find out the option for such a salt which gives the number of particles equal to how much? 5. Can you guess which is the correct answer? Here Na2SO4 means twice Na plus sulfate ion. So 2 plus 1, 3 particles. So option A is not correct. Consider the option second, BaCl2, barium plus 2 plus twice Cl minus. It also gives the 3 particles. This is also wrong. What about the aluminium sulfate, Al2SO4 thrice? Al2SO4 thrice means you can write the dissociation as twice Al plus 3 plus twice Al plus 3 plus thrice sulfate ion, that is SO4 minus 2. So total the number of particles are 3 plus 2, that is 5. So number of particles in case of equimolar solution of aluminium sulfate, it is equal to 5, which is same as the number of particles for same concentration of the solution of K4 FeCN6. So this option C is the correct option. Do you understand this? D option is the incorrect because it is a non-electrolyte, no dissociation, as it is a cane sugar. Okay. Now let us see the next point. Here, Vent-Off factor I and degree of dissociation. Now Vent-Off factor I, just here I told the definition. Vent-Off factor I is the ratio of what? In terms of molar mass, M theoretical upon M observed. In terms of colligative property, here the colligative property of electrolyte solution divided by colligative property of non-electrolyte of same concentration. Now, colligative properties of electrolytes, they are based on the fact that they are completely ionized in the solution. But this is true for the strong electrolyte, and therefore, here the weak electrolyte, in case of weak electrolyte, the concept of degree of dissociation is considered. Now, what is degree of dissociation? In 11th standard, you are familiar with this term in chemical equilibrium, and here ionic equilibrium, that is the degree of dissociation means it is the fraction of the total number of moles of the substance or electrolyte that dissociates into the ions in the solution at equilibrium. That is known as degree of dissociation, denoted by alpha. Now to derive the relation between Van't Hoff factor I and degree of dissociation, here consider the electrolyte AXBY, that is general symbol is taken here. Its dissociation can be written as X number of A raised to Y plus, that is this cation, plus Y number of B raised to X minus, there should be X. Okay. Now initially, suppose 1 mole of this weak electrolyte is taken in the solution, or it is dissolved in the solution. Now here the initial moles for the cations and anions, that will be 0 moles. Now if alpha represents the degree of dissociation for this electrolyte, that is AX BY. So after dissociation, out of total 1 mole, how many mole dissociate? Alpha mole. So it will give the X into alpha mole of this cation and Y into alpha moles of negative in the solution. Follow. Next, that is the relation. Now after dissociation, total number of moles, it is the sum of all these, 1 minus alpha, X into alpha plus Y alpha. See again, here this at equilibrium, the total number of moles 1 minus alpha for this AXBY, that is which is unionized electrolyte. Here for cation X alpha, same is the concentration for anion, that is Y alpha. Now here total moles become sum of all these. So after rearranging, here alpha is taken as a common. So in bracket X plus Y minus 1, or X plus Y, it is denoted by N. Now what is X and what is Y? X means it is the number of moles of cations, that is it is a coefficient for the number of moles of cations. Y represent the coefficient for number of moles of negative ions. Now if we represent X plus Y by N, it becomes 1 plus alpha into N minus 1. Okay. Now Van't Hoff factor I. Here, when definition of I, it is the actual moles of particles in the solution after the dissociation divided by moles of formula units dissolved in the solution. Now moles of formula unit, initially we are dissolving the 1 mole of electrolyte. So here 1 mole of electrolyte is taken value, and in the numerator, after dissociation, how many moles? Just we calculate this total moles, 1 plus alpha into N minus 1. So put here the values of numerator and denominator. The Van't Hoff factor I becomes 1 plus alpha into N minus 1. Now simplify this so that final equation becomes alpha is equal to I minus 1 upon N minus 1, where N is equal to X plus Y. So this gives the relation between degree of dissociation and Van't Hoff factor I. Okay. Let us see the 2 examples based on the different formulae. Now 0.01 molal aqueous formic acid solution freezes at minus 0.021 degrees Celsius. Calculate its degree of dissociation if the cryoscopic constant Kf is equal to 1.86 Kelvin kilogram per mole. Now this is the formula, modified formula. Delta Tf is equal to I into Kf into N. Now delta Tf means depression in freezing point. That is the pure solvent freezing point minus freezing point of solution. So difference between the two, that difference it is always positive, that is 0.021 degrees Celsius. Molality is given 0.01. Now here 0.021 delta Tf Here we have to calculate degree of dissociation. So first calculate the Ventov factor I from the given data. Kf is given, put here the value of Kf, molality is also given. So from this relation, first find out the Ventov factor I by calculation. It becomes 1.13. And from this I, it is possible to calculate the degree of dissociation. Degree of dissociation alpha, just we derived this relation I minus 1 upon n minus 1, which is equal to I minus 1, because n, that is x plus y, it becomes 2. So for formic acid, the value of n is 2, as there are two particles, two cation and anion. After dissociation, formic acid gives H plus and HSO, COO minus. So this is the degree of dissociation, 1.13 minus 1, that is the 0.30. Okay. Second numerical, which is also from the textbook. It is also solved by using this modified formula. So here in this example, 3.4 gram of calcium chloride is dissolved in 2.5 liter of water. At 300 Kelvin, what is the osmotic pressure of solution? Ventov factor for calcium chloride is 2.47. Okay, so these values are given and you have to calculate the osmotic pressure. So value of Ventov factor I is given, W2, that is weight of solute, is given, molar gas constant, here osmotic pressure, therefore liter atmosphere per Kelvin per mole, 0.08206. So you are familiar with the value of molar gas constant in the different units into temperature 300 Kelvin divided by M2, molar mass of solute, that is calcium chloride, 111 gram per mole, into volume, that is 2.5 liter or dm cube. Okay, now calculate this. After calculation, it becomes 0.745 atmosphere. Okay, so simple calculations are involved in this example. So try to solve the examples which are given in the exercise. In the next lecture, we will see the remaining points from the chapter. Thank you.